Yo, it's your boy Leo Flowers with another book review. Think like Zuck. I'm a big fan of Mark Zuckerberg because I'm a big fan of Steve Jobs, and to me, Mark Zuckerberg is like Steve Jobs 2.0, in that they're both like minimalists and they just keep their lives simple. Like Zuck has been with the same girl that he dated when he started Facebook. It took him a while to move out of his small house into a bigger house, and he probably wouldn't even have made that move, but he just wants to move somewhere closer to his job. So there, like some of the ideas, and he wears the same thing every day. He's good with the hoodie and gym shoes. He's not trying to like be something that he's not. So to me, that's very Steve Jobs. If you remember, Steve would always come out with the turtleneck and the New Balance. So I was like, I read Steve Jobs stuff. So I want to read about this guy, Mark Zuckerberg, who is the CEO of Facebook. This is a good book, and it has some really great points. And I'm just going to go through them really quick because I don't want my videos to be too long. One is he sets one goal for himself personally every year. And like one year was wear a tie every day, just to show his employees that he's taking things seriously. And I think last year it was to learn Mandarin, because his wife is Mandarin and he wanted to meet the family and be able to speak it, and probably because business wise, that'd be that's a great tool to be able to speak Mandarin, and so he can tap more into the Asian market. Um, but I thought that was really cool that, because if you remember one of my book reviews was on the one thing. He's the guy talks about picking that one thing, and then here you have Mark Zuckerberg saying, "Listen, I just pick one personal goal for that year that I want to focus on, and then I change it every year." So I thought that was really cool to do that. Another thing he talks about is that he says that great people just act, they don't plan. And when you look at the story of Facebook, he basically just like had an idea and started it. But what was cool about it was people think, oh, this guy was a genius who started Facebook, when really he started like three or four other social networking sites before he started Facebook, and then Facebook was the one that really took off. So for those of you who are like, "Oh, I got to get it right the first time," no, it's like just do it. Whatever the idea is, whatever just do it, and and even if that idea doesn't work, with the skills and that you'll learn from that will help you build for the next one. Because if Mark Zuckerberg hadn't created those previous websites, he would not have had the skills and the know-how to start up Facebook and then make that profitable. So for every failure that he had with those other websites, it taught him something that was going to be useful for him to make Facebook productive. Another cool thing out of there is he says that done is better than perfect. So for all you perfectionists out there, just get it done. Just get it done, because it's just like, remember in school, like when you just turned in a paper, she's like, some of your teachers would say turn in a completed paper, but then the smart teachers would say turn in a rough draft, which is great because you just want to get it done. And then she would correct it, give it back to you, and then you make the corrections, and she give it back to you. Sometimes it would be this back and forth, which is exactly how you should look at any of your work or any of our ideas. Is that just get it done, and then you can tweak it as you go along. Even if you're talking about starting a family, just start it. It's You can plan all you want, but nothing prepares you for having a child, right? Because your all your planning is revolved around the idea that your child is going to be healthy and perfect. But what if the child isn't, and your marriage is going to last? What if your marriage isn't? So it's just do what you want to do and figure it out as you go along, right? Um, the thing I really love about the how to think like Zuck is his philosophy was that they're all hackers. And if you read Steve Jobs' bio, his idea was everybody, all his employees were pirates, and he was like the captain. Whereas Zuckerberg has the idea that, they're all hackers, and they're just trying to hack into life and figure out an easier way to do things. And hacking has kind of like this negative connotation of like you're breaking into something, but he says that hackers are just like trying to find the simplest way to get in somewhere and make it simpler for everybody else to use. So like there are a lot of people who talk about like being a life hacker or whatever like that. Like, how do I make this easier? How do I make this more user friendly? And there's almost this. I notice like when I read the bios of the greats, they always have this kind of uh, uh, maverick, not maverick, but it's like where they what's the word I'm looking for? They're not pioneer spirit. They got this thing where like they want to figure it out. It's a rebellious. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. Rebellious. They're all rebellious. They're all like fighting the system, or they're trying to find the way around it, or they kind of breed that mentality. So it's good to see that he has that also. One personal goal a year. Relationships follow the same path as done is better than perfect. Take risks, steal ideas. Oh, last thing I want to say is he talks about creating value. And he says, don't do anything for money, do it because it creates value. So it's like if you want to take a class or whatever it is you want to do, don't worry about the money. The money will come. Your focus is create value in yourself or create value in your company. So basically, he's talking about investing. Don't worry about the money that you have or don't have now. Just think about this is an investment for the future. And if I take these classes or I learn these skills or if I have this experience, it'll all at some point will meet in the middle and then boom, um, you'll be successful. So don't worry about how much things cost. Just your focus should be creating value, and then the money will come. You know what I mean? I think that's it. I definitely, if you want to get the book, get the book. It's an easy read. You could read this on a plane or like while you're waiting at the doctor's office or getting Snickers. I don't know why you'd be able to finish the book while you're getting Snickers, but it's a great book, easy read. I give it 3 out of 5 just because it wasn't like but it was an easy read. It's not a bad book. It's not horrible, but it's not. I'm done. Peace, deuces.